From Nutrien Ag Solutions, I'm Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, July 1st, 2024. As we look at your 10-day takeaways here, rounds of showers and storms continue this week. We are going to trend a little bit drier next week, not completely shutting things down, but moving toward a bit more of a summer-like pattern that's really going to only offer up isolated to widely scattered shower and thunderstorm chances. And that summer heat also going to be creeping in here during days 5 to 10. So not running into a big heat wave that's going to, have you boiling and completely shriveled up here, completely without rain here, but just, turning up the heat a bit and kind of bringing back the active pattern, at least temporarily across the region. Now, the last 7 days, a lot of heavy precipitation, especially along that Highway 16 corridor. A little bit more hit or miss as you go a little bit further south from there. Southern portions of Manitoba picking up some heavy rainfall, and then some scattered areas of heavier rainfall across portions of southern Alberta as well. Calgary getting into some of that very heavy rainfall, some localized flooding issues during the last week or so. So during the last 7 days, some areas of very heavy rainfall. If you could follow that narrow corridor there where we saw 60 to 90 plus millimeters of precipitation over the last 7 days or so. Now, as we take a look here at the satellite animation that I love to start off my morning with, we can pick out some of the players here. I'm going to go ahead and try and get my screen so that I can draw on it, do the little sportscaster thing here. Here we go. We've got that upper level support spreading into the area, upper level area of low pressure kind of situated right here. Kind of that semi-permanent pattern we've had over the last 4 to 6 weeks, one that's really fostered a lot of precipitation across this corridor. Now, we'll continue to see that over the next 3 to 4 days. The radar picture here on Monday morning, again, scattered areas of showers and storms, some locally heavy rainfall, some of that lifting into southern portions of Manitoba this morning, some heavy rainfall between Saskatoon and Regina, and then as you make your way back towards central and southern portions of Alberta, you got a little bit of a upper level low right here. You can kind of just see that circulation kind of as it makes its way through the area. So again, portions of central and southern Alberta seeing some of that scattered heavy rain, maybe some thunder rumbles here through the day as well. Temperatures pretty uniform across the prairie. Anywhere from 13 to 16 degrees is basically your temperature spread from the west to the east across the prairie this morning. And as we look at the next 7 days of precipitation, again, we keep it in the forecast, heaviest in the east, central and southern portions of Manitoba. That's where you're looking at picking up a couple of inches here, maybe 50 to 75 millimeters. You make your way further back toward the west, those showers and storms become a little bit more hit or miss. Peace River, Grand Prairie, that area going to be a little bit more on the dry side over the next 7 days overall. And then you make your way further south across central and southern Alberta. You're probably talking about, anywhere from 15 to 30 millimeters, some locally drier and locally wetter spots here as we talk about clusters of showers and storms. Now, as we look at week 2, this would be July 8th through the 15th, turning a bit drier across the region as we build a bigger ridge across the western United States, some of that ridging creeping up into western Canada. So the jet stream, the support just lifts a little bit further north, and so too will then the better chances for showers and storms, at least temporarily. So here's your 7-day precipitation forecast. Again, another way to look at this, the precipitation anomaly during that July 8th through the 15th time frame. And again, you see this corridor right here where it's been very active. It's just going to kind of slow down a little bit as we head into the middle part of July. Now, the reason for that, here's the pattern today. We continue to send a parade of storm systems right through the area. So Monday morning, upper level low pressure sitting over the head or overhead here across the prairie. And that, again, gives us that upper level support for shower and thunderstorm activity. It's going to be a stormy next couple of days. Now, as we kind of just animate this and head through the next 3 to 4 days, let's take this through. Here's Wednesday, getting into Thursday, Friday, now the weekend. We've still got this pattern here where we've got northwest flow kind of coming over the top of this ridge that's developing across the Pacific Ocean, the coast here with British Columbia and the Pacific Northwest. The flow kind of coming over here, let me change this to black, riddled with little short waves. So we'll keep the shower and storm chances through this corridor through the weekend, probably into Monday or Tuesday or so. And then as we get deeper into next week, we start to see that ridging expanding, the troughing deepens here across the Great Lakes, the ridging expands across Western Canada. Taking this a little bit further, let me go ahead back here to where I was, get my little clicker, pause, sorry about this. Taking it through, this is your Monday, Tuesday, getting into July 10th, 11th, just seeing that ridging just kind of expanding. Now, again, this is not... Now I've done it. I can't take the drawings off. We'll add more to it, make it more complicated. This is not a huge anomalous ridge parked overhead. Western Canada that's sending the jet stream well to the north, bringing in just excessive heat across the region and completely shutting it down. This is the ridge expanding just a bit, such that it's doing something like this. The main, ridge is located here across the western U.S. The flow of the jet stream still not far off, still kind of riding right over the top of that. So this is a pattern that's going to stop sending big lumbering areas of low pressure across the prairie that are bringing widespread heavy doses of rain. And it's a pivot toward still a pretty decent summer pattern that's going to be having these little short waves that come over the top of the ridge. They're just harder to predict, and they bring a little bit less precipitation with them. But it's not a complete shutdown of the pattern. We're going to turn warmer and a little less stormy across the prairie. Now, your next few days, continuing to be stormy. A couple of areas of low pressure traversing the region. Scattered areas of showers and storms continue over the next 3 to 4 days. Again, heaviest in the east, a little lighter as you make your way back toward the west. Portions of Alberta, Saskatchewan, hit or miss in nature. Some corridors here picking up 10 to 20 millimeters. Then you make your way into central and southern Manitoba. It's where it's a little bit more widespread in that 20 to 30 millimeter range. The probability of picking up 1 inch of rain or more over the next 7 days, again, highest chance is going to be in the east across Manitoba. Slightly, I don't know what to call it, decent chance here, anywhere 40 to 50% chance. Again, hit or miss across central and southern Saskatchewan, back into southern Alberta, and then Peace River, Grand Prairie over toward Edmonton to Calgary. Kind of this corridor right here, you're going to struggle with this current pattern here. So probably on the drier side right through that region. Now, again, just kind of looking at this is a snapshot of next week, right around the July 10th through the 12th pattern. Again, trying to just kind of hammer the point home that this is not a huge ridge that's going to be setting up overhead. This is an expanding ridge that, at times has kind of wobbled through this area over the last 3 to 4 weeks, and that's what's kind of kept the troughing in this area, keeping storm systems feeding in. Now this ridge kind of just pivoting back toward the Four Corners, portions of the interior western U.S. So no longer with upper level low pressure just pumping moisture into the region. It's just going to lift the jet stream a little bit further north, putting us into this northwest flow that, as you can see over here, just delivers much, lighter, more hit or miss precipitation to the region. Doesn't completely shut it down. We will still likely be talking about corridors of thunderstorm activity, maybe even some severe weather next week. Now, those temperatures, again, a little cooler this week, pretty uniform. Cooler to start the week off. We'll be trending a little bit warmer later in the week into the weekend and next week. Again, allowing some of that warmth to build in. We kind of get rid of the cooler anomalies across the region, but you don't see any mid-30s on this forecast either for Calgary. Trending warmer into the middle to upper 20s is where we're headed. Same thing here at Edmonton, highs around 25, 26 degrees. Rather consistent as we get into the weekend and next week. Same thing, you're not seeing highs of 35 degrees here. This is not an incredible heat wave. It's a shift in the pattern here. A little bit warmer, a little bit less stormy. Saskatoon, Regina, very similar here. Winnipeg, you'll be a little bit warmer by the end of the week here. 26, 27 degrees, a little bit of a dip. Next week, as that troughing sets up over the Great Lakes, the ridging starts to build across Western Canada. You're shielded a little bit more even from the warm-up across the region. So that's what I've got for you here. Over the next 7 days, still a bit on the stormy side, a little less stormy next week with a little bit more in the way of warmth, but certainly not as bad as it could be this time of year.